Hello, everyone. I am Kama Burton, your 2020 Strategic Partner Chair, Project Team Lead for Women's Council California. And I'm really excited to be able to do this training for you. This training is to help you build strategic partnerships within your network. And I just want to let you know, if you have any questions for me, my information will be at the end of this, and I will be sure to answer your questions. So I'm going to share my slide with you. And we are going to get started. So today, again, we're talking about strategic partnership. So this is a little bit about me. And I know you see a lot of things here. Who is Kama? A lot of you may know me or may not know me, but I just received my broker's license November 19th, 2019. I'm a broker associate with Pro One Investments. I actually have my own nonprofit that I founded back in 2015. I am celebrating 5 years this year, and I'm the 2020 Strategic Partner Chair, as I mentioned, and I'm the 2020 CAR Expo Chair. So I'm very involved. I'm treasurer of my association, current director of the California Association of Realtors, but I am a past president of the Inland Valley. And the reason I tell you this, I know you may be thinking, why is she telling me all this? The reason why this is important, because one thing we know about this group, this network, or Women's Council as a whole, is that we're building leaders. When we're out there working, trying to help build our strategic partners, honestly, they like to work with leaders. So they want to know who you are. They want to know, why are they going to work with you, and how can you help them? So based on a lot of the things that I've done, it's been able to help people come to me where I can even help my local level. Now, don't get nervous about this and say, well, I don't have all that. Don't worry about that. You're here. My purpose of this, me showing you this, is that you are a leader and you can share that information as you try to get a strategic partner. So who's strategic partners? Strategic partners, I always say, are the heartbeat of our network. Why? Because without strategic partners, honestly, we wouldn't be. We don't make a ton of money on all of our events. We do have fundraisers, but sometimes that may happen it's somewhere within the middle of the year, and we need money that's going to keep us afloat. So without our strategic partners, I don't know where we would be, to be honest with you. So they are the heartbeat of our network. The purpose of strategic partners, they are here to help build leaders in our network. I always think about it like this. It comes back full circle. So how do they help us build? Their partnership, it helps send our governing boards to state and national events. What do we do there? We're learning, we're getting educated, we're helping to grow in business, we're helping to grow in leadership, we're getting training, all of this so that we can bring it back to our networks, and we can let our networks know, thank you, X, Y, and Z, for being a strategic partner, because without you, we wouldn't have been able to bring back this information. And because of that, what do we want to do? We want to network. We want to bring them back together. We want to bring them together to where our realtors that are in our network will work with our strategic partners, because they're giving. Why not? So it comes back full circle, and that's the way to thank our strategic partners. I get this question a lot. What's the difference between a strategic partner and a national affiliate? So right on this slide, we're going to break down the difference between the two, because there is a difference. With strategic partnerships, there's different levels. You can have a level where it's very basic. It may be a very low level where they're able to attend all of the events at member pricing. You may mention them or give them a copy of your membership, whatever you want to do, but it'd be a lower end, whereas you can go as high as you would like. At our network, I believe our highest right now is $2,500. And with $2,500, you're able to get, of course, much more than what you would get at the $300 level. But we're going to talk about that a little later. Advertisement. Advertisement is going to all depend on the level. So somebody at the lower level is not going to get the same thing as someone at a higher level, right? But their advertising is more. They can get their logo, should be on your website. The state website or national actually provides you all websites. And the logos can be clickable where, for example, under the Inland Valley, which I'm a part of, when I was president, what we did was we had it clickable for those that were at a higher level, but we just had the logo of those that were at the lower levels because we wanted to at least get them some type of recognition. They also get on the flyers. Some people like them on a flyer, some people don't. That's all up to you. I just say be very careful because you don't want your flyer to look like, I don't know, you don't want it to look too cluttered, okay? You don't want a ton of logos on there. Maybe your top people, maybe your top one can get on the logo on the flyer, but that's all up to you. You get more exposure. Strategic partners get much more exposure than a national affiliate will. Why? Because I just mentioned, for one, the advertisement, the clickable link that you get, the mentions that you get while you're at the events. You should always be advertising your strategic partners at every event that you put on. So there's more exposure there. And this is what I love. You keep 100% of the revenue. So if they come in at $300, which is your lowest level, you keep $300. If they come in at $2,500, you keep $2,500. That goes directly into your account. So national affiliates. So national affiliates, you can look at them as members. They're just like a member that will come in, a realtor member that will come in to your network. They have to pay membership dues. So if your membership dues are $225, then that's what your national affiliate will pay as well. They get a profile on the national site. Now, what's the difference between that? Well, on the national site, you have a profile. It has your name, your company name, a little bit about yourself. They receive the same information there, whereas strategic partners, they get the logo on the site, but they don't get a profile on the website. National affiliates don't get as much exposure than a strategic partner. The reason being is because, again, they're seen as members. So you won't put their information on a flyer. They will not get the same information that the strategic partner will get because, again, they're considered a member. But what they can do that a strategic partner cannot do is they can serve on the governing board. They can serve as treasurer or they can serve as membership director. One thing they can do as well is they can chair a project team, which I think is great. Unfortunately, if you have strategic partners that are chairing a project team right now, they should be a co-chair or a co-project lead. I want to make sure I'm using the right terms. A co-chair for a project team because they cannot chair. And remember, we want to follow the rules of Women's Council. Our presidents every year will sign an affiliate agreement that says we're going to follow it. So some of you may be thinking, well, my strategic partner, I can't just take it from them. But if you just show them according to our rules, you can be a co-chair with someone else. And this is the one thing is that they only, as a national affiliate, you're only going to receive local revenue dues. So let's just say every time you get a new member, you're only getting $20 or $25. Some people are still only getting $5. You only make that much money off of your national affiliate. So those are the differences between the two. A national affiliate is seen as a member. They can serve on the governing board. They can serve only certain positions. They can chair a project team, whereas strategic partners won't have that. But I have this comma-ism. So the comma-ism is this. National affiliates are only good if you want them to hold a position. Think about it, you all. We want to get people to be strategic partners. Why? Because you keep 100% of the revenue. If they're on the national affiliate side, are they really getting the maximum exposure that they can get? How many people are on the national site looking for a national affiliate? Honestly, how many people are saying, hey, I want to find an escrow company in California? What they're doing is saying, hey, let me find a good realtor that will lead me to the right escrow officer that's within Women's Council. And you can say, hey, such and such is a part of our national affiliate group, or this is our strategic partner. So this is why it's very important to understand. This is not a rule of Women's Council. I'll call it a commaism because these are comma thoughts. I think they can what? Strategic partners, what can they do? A lot of people ask that question. I think they can do what? They can attend all events at membership price, which is great. They can co-chair a project team, as I mentioned in the previous slide. They can help on a project team. And let me stop there. One thing that I think is very important is that our strategic partners help on project teams. You want to keep them involved. You don't want them to be the best kept secret. It's important that we build relationships with them. And I'll talk about that shortly, but it's very important that we build a good relationship with our strategic partners. And a great way to do that is to say, hey, why don't you come and be on a project team? So I'm going to give you an example. Just a week ago, I don't know when you're going to see this. I'll just say this. January, what day was that? January 8th. I met someone and they came to me. They were introduced to me by someone else. And so I was talking to them about our local strategic partnership. And when we were talking about it, she said, oh, I'm very interested. I said, well, great. When you sign up, I want you on the project team that I'm chairing. And she was like, oh my gosh, great. I want to get involved. This is what's going to keep them coming year after year after year. We don't want to just take their money. We want them to be involved. They could be our biggest cheerleaders. So this is how I want you to think about it. They have our audience, okay? They have the people that we need. Think about it with lenders. Lenders have a database of other realtors. That's who they work with. So as a strategic partner, they can help bring more realtors. If they're on project teams, if they see how great that we are, why not bring other realtors to be a part? Excuse me. And they're also able to speak at events. We'll talk about that a little later, but these are things that they can do. Also, they can sponsor additional events. When I was district vice president in 2019, not that that was far away, but when I was district vice president, I was sitting down with one of my networks and I was talking to them about strategic partnerships and about sponsoring, because there is a difference between a strategic partner and a sponsor. Some people just want to sponsor one event rather than become a strategic partner. Remember, strategic partners are long-term. They go for the entire year, from the calendar year, okay? As of January 1st, you start a new slate. I don't care what time they come in, you start a new slate. So what I was told was that this particular network's strategic partners get offended when they go to other people to ask to sponsor. So give your strategic partners the first right of refusal, even though they are giving. Don't be afraid to ask them for money. You'll be surprised how much they want to give because they want the exposure, okay? So what can't they do? What can't strategic partners do? They cannot serve on a governing board in any capacity, okay? Now you're gonna hear some stuff repetitive, and there's a reason. I'll be repetitive in some things because I really want you all to understand what I'm saying, because I know sometimes things can get jumbled up in some of the transitions. They cannot serve on a governing board in any capacity. They cannot be a project team leader or project team chair. They cannot do that, but they can be a co-chair. They cannot be a project chair, or they can be on the team. They cannot vote. If they come out to one of your meetings, they are not allowed to vote. Remember, they're not on the governing board. Actually, no one can vote if they're on the governing board anyway. They cannot get their PM in. The reason I put this here is because I was asked by a couple of people, strategic partners, can we get our PM in? Oh, and what's a PMN? Because I did not, here's the acronym. It's Performance Management Network. Your PMN is something that you can accomplish under Women's Council. It is a recognized designation under the National Association of Realtors, under NAR. I'm sure that we'll be talking about that more, or State will be talking about that more, and you get things on your website and all that in regards to what a PMN designation is. All right. So this is the big question. How can I obtain strategic partners? We're going to get into the nitty gritty. Know the history, you all, because it sells. Who are we? Where did we get started? Why are we here? You should always know the history of who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with when you're working with associations such as or any kind of nonprofit or not-for-profit. Know the history when you're trying to bring people in because it sells. So here's a little bit about our history, and this is actually on in the back office. Right here it shows a little bit about who we are. We have been around for over 80 years. I remember being, I believe we were in, I'm trying to think of the hotel we were at. I believe it was Boston. But I do remember being somewhere celebrating 80 years of Women's Council being around. Why did we even get started? Well, we got started because women couldn't sit around the table like they do under NAR. So women started Women's Council, and that's how we came apart. We are the largest infrastructure under the National Association of Realtors. One thing I love about us, I don't know if you all are aware, but if I'm not mistaken, we may be the only state, maybe not, but we're many of only few. Of a few. We're one. No, how do I say this? we're few of networks that actually meet before in California before our state meetings. So we meet before the California Association of Realtors, and it makes it easy because those of us that are directors, we go right into CAR. Remember, it's not car, you guys. We don't drive a car. We're not driving a car. It's CAR. All right, helping you with something. So same thing with the National Association of Realtors. We meet while they meet. There's no other organization, trade association that's meeting like we are. So that's huge. A lot of our leadership is part of Women's Council, or look at National Association of Realtors. Look at Elizabeth Mendenhall. She is a part of Women's Council. That's huge. Jeannie Ratsick, she is a part of Women's Council, and Jennifer Branchini. Who are these people? Some of you may not even know. This is our California Association of Realtors state leadership. Jeannie is our president, and Jennifer Branchini is our treasurer. So this is very good for you all to know. You can talk about this when you're selling this to your strategic partners. Annually, we recruit over 3,000 members. Mind you, this is nationally, okay? In California this year, I believe we had about 1,300 plus members, which is great. We're in over 250 networks. We're in 25 different states. And we have a presence in 40 states because some people are members at large because they don't have close networks. Why is this important? This is important because they need to know who we are and how far we spread. Because when I get a referral, then I can say, look, that's extra coming in and I can use you as my strategic partner. Know the mission statement. The mission says we are a network of successful realtors advancing women as leaders, advancing women as business leaders in the industry and in the communities we serve. Who are we? Learn this. This is one sentence, you all. I memorize this because when people say, who are you? What do you all do? Instead of taking them all around the merry-go-round, you want to tell them, you want to get to the point. I'm a get to the point person. If anybody knows me, they know it's like, just get to the point. Why? Because I need to know, am I going to work with you or am I not going to work with you? So know the mission statement. Also, know our core values. So what I did was I kind of jumbled this up because I knew that there was some kind of acronym. And I learned this as I was going through this, putting this together. I learned this and I thought, oh my gosh, we are the pilot. We are leading, we're leaders, right? We're leaders in our industry. We are leading the industry. So these are our core values: professional credibility, influence, leadership, opportunities, and the power of collaboration. Now on the website, it'll break it down for you. I'm not going to break it down here, but know at least what we stand for and what our values are. All right. So after you've done all that, you know your mission, you talk to someone, they're saying, okay, what's next? Now I'm going to show you something really quick. I'm going to stop the share because I want to bring up our a couple of things that were given to us, which I think is very important. A lot of our networks are doing some great things. So a big shout out to the San Diego network, as well as Long Beach. So to Alma, to Matt, thank you for allowing us to use this. So what I'm going to do is bring up a couple of things here. So bringing this up on my screen. So the first one I'm going to show you is the strategic partner pamphlet. This is by San Diego. So you can talk about the benefits of strategic partnership on here, which is very important. Make sure it says strategic partnership. These are some great things that they put here. Build your business, network with the most successful real estate professionals in your community. Build a future business relationship with our members. Low cost advertising with high exposure. This is some great information that they have on here. Who are we? Our mission statement, our vision. This is very, very important to have. They also have a copy of their leadership, or pictures of their leadership on here, because sometimes people want to know who are the leaders. They do. A lot of people want to know who is leading this network. So I think this is awesome. They also have the application here where you can send in the money. Look at their strategic partnership. I'm going to blow this up just a little bit because I want you all to see this. You have to see this. It has, look at their levels. It goes from $500 all the way up to $5,000. It's possible, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be afraid. What I find a lot of times is that people get afraid of asking for money because they're like, well, what are they going to think? You have to believe in this thing. You have to. If you believe enough in the network, that confidence would give out to your potential strategic partners as well. So this is their information here, which I think it's great, something you can hand to them, to our potential strategic partners as you're gathering strategic partnerships. Now, this here was given over to us by Long Beach. This here is their strategic partner level, and this is what it looks like. It's very clean. It's very to the point. It's straight to the point. Right here, it tells you what you get. If you do the $2,500 platinum level, you get 2 lunch and learn events. That includes designation as food sponsor and a brief speaking opportunity at the event. So right here, they get all of this information. All of this, all the way down here, this is them exclusive. And then the gold will receive 5 minutes plus all of this information. The $800 level goes down here. Company provided materials on vendor booths, a vendor table at the event. And this is the one I was talking about. Just be a friend. But guess what? They keep all the money, $200. And they get membership pricing, recognition on the website. All this is very important because someone may say, I can only do 200, but guess what? It's 100% local money. So thank you again to Matt and to Alma for allowing us to show that. All right, I'm going to get back over to our screen. There we go. So again, as you see, have a good package, a strong package that you can offer to the networks. So that way, to your potential strategic partners. So that way they can see what they're working with because they want to know, what am I paying for and what do I get out of it? It's very important that we speak to people we trust. Just a suggestion from Kama. You have 6 people on your governing board. Get 6 people to agree to finding 2 strategic partners at 2 different levels. You don't want everybody at the lower level. You don't. You want $1,500. You want $2,500 because you want to be able to travel. Do you all realize we're going to be traveling very soon? I don't know at what point you're going to watch this, but you're going to be traveling very soon. And it's very important that the transition from one year to another is smooth, including the financing. Go beyond on your normal list. Maybe you want to talk to the local plumber. I don't see a lot of plumbers as strategic partners. excuse me, but I do know in this business, we're constantly asking, is there a plumber? Is there an electrician? Maybe a local florist, maybe a moving company. Think about people other than just, you want to actually, you want your lenders, your escrow, your title. Yes, you do want those, home inspector, but whom else can you bring in to help you? Follow up, please. Follow up is the key to anybody's business. We know, just being realtors, follow up, the money is in the follow up. It is what it is. The money's in the follow up. Be consistent in your follow up. Always look at Women's Council as just like being in your business. When you're working, you're building a team. You need a good team behind you, right? So are you going to keep following up even with your lenders? I take my lenders to lunch. Why? Because it's my way of saying, hey, let's sit down, let's talk. I don't want you to just give to me. I want to be able to give to you as well. So I do special things for the people I work with because I think it's important. You never know. Those strategic partners could be potentially feeding you by giving you leads as well. So follow up consistently. Make sure they're okay. Check on them throughout the year and maintain a positive attitude. Don't say, oh, look, you guys, yeah, so I'm trying to get some money and can you help me with this? We just need like $1,000. We need this. What you do is, I don't know why we're doing this. You'll be surprised how many people do it. I'm just doing it because I have to. No, be excited about it. Like I'm excited about strategic partnership. Be excited about it. Maintain a positive attitude. Build confidence. Remember, we are growing leaders here. That's what leadership does. When I was a part of Women's Council as president, I went to Cheryl Keller. She was our 2018 state president. And I told her, I forgot what I told her I wanted to do at first. She said, no, I want you to try something else. So I thought about it. Somebody brought it up to me. They said, have you thought about Ways and Means? I said, no. Well, Ways and Means was not my comfort zone. I got out of my comfort zone. I had a positive attitude during that year, and we were very, very successful by meeting our goals. So keep a positive attitude at all times. So how can we best support your partners? Okay, so we've looked at the sheet of how to get the package. They signed up for the package. We went after them. So how do we support them? It's easy. Very, very simple. Utilize and include them. Duh. You know why? Because what we do, as I mentioned earlier, we go to them, we ask them for this money, we're all excited, and they don't hear anything else from us for the rest of the year until the next group comes in and say, hey, would you be a strategic partner this year? Utilize your strategic partners. Don't just go to them for the money because you know that they're going to give, but go to them because you know they're going to be an asset to your network. That's how we roll in Women's Council. We bring people in that's going to bring value to our business to help them grow. Help us grow. So we want to utilize them and include them. As I mentioned earlier, help them bring them to be a part of a strategic partner team. Make sure they're busy. You know what they can do? Oh, matter of fact, I'm not going to tell you right now because we're going to go through that shortly. So when you do that, we need to keep them engaged. We're going to go through that now. I love this little clip here. This little picture here, because think about your strategic partners as people that's going to help you build your business as you help them build theirs. And if you notice here, you got the red, you have the blue. Now, this is not Democrat and Republican, okay? But we're bringing things together to help one another build. So how do we keep them engaged? Do a strategic partner orientation. Your strategic partner, for one, you should have a strategic partner team that's going to follow up with them all year. Your team will be doing an orientation. During your orientations, you're going to talk about how to build relationships with membership. So I put this on here, no more drips. I don't like to be dripped on. You know why? Email. Here's the email. Every month you're sending me an email, but I never hear from you. That's it, an email. I get the same email from like 4 different lenders. The same exact email, only one of them pick up the phone and call me. One of them. Only one. So you talk to them, say, look, during an orientation, you're giving them tips and tools of how to build relationships with members. You're telling them to get involved. You're telling them, just don't drip on us, call us, pick up the phone, text us, see how we're doing. Did I once say, take us out to eat? No. Pick up the phone. It's very important. Also, we'll do a follow-up. I believe this is very important for presidents and president-elects to keep and maintain a great relationship with your strategic partners. Presidents should just do a quick check-in, text them, hey, so-and-so, just checking on you. How's the year going? Or pick up the phone. How's the year going? Is there anything we can do? Thank you so much for being a strategic partner. The president-elects can do the same thing because they want these strategic partners to come back. They don't want them. You don't want to just sit down like this. Well, it's not my year yet, so I'm not going to talk to them. It's not my year yet, so I'm not going to use them. No, we should be working together. Check up on them, make sure that they're good. Make sure that your strategic partner team, and this would be the president-elect's job, to make sure that the strategic partner team is doing what they're supposed to do as far as building that relationship, following up, and making sure that whatever that sheet says that the strategic partner should be getting, that they get that. Send out a thank you card. That's very important. Our cutoff time for strategic partners are in March 31st. So we cut off when the membership cut off. You don't have to. I talked to our president, Eileen, and she said, you don't necessarily have to. You can prorate, but just understand if you prorate, they're coming in at a certain time. But the reason why I put April and December is because that's how we normally do it. And what we do is once we see that in March, that March 31st, we have all of our membership or strategic partnership, we'll send them a thank you card. Everybody should get one. And then at the end in December, and the reason I put these two as well, because maybe in December, you guys want to sign, the whole governing board, sign a card. You can sign them now and thank them for the membership and then put it in an envelope later. But sign a card, send it out, and thank them for their strategic partnership. If I said membership, I'm sorry. Recognize them at events. Always recognize your strategic partners. Have them stand up. With all our strategic partners, please stand. Have them, let people know they're here. You don't have to name them one by one, but just say thank you. Say, go see our strategic partners. My tongue is getting tired. Go see them afterwards. You know why? Because other people come in, like lenders that are not a strategic partner or not a national affiliate. They come in and they try to take the business. And they're not even partnering with us. So let them know who we're connected to. Allow them to have a vendor table at the event. Only the larger ones. If you have one or two large ones, you don't want it to look like a swap meet. Just, have that. You can do a SP of the month. I'm just going to say SP, you guys. My tongue is getting tired and I don't have water in front of me. So you can do a SP of the month. You can do a SP of the year. A lot of people are doing that. The strategic partners of the year. And also support their events. If they're having an event come up, that's great information you can give to your network. Put it on your social media site. Maybe it'll be something that'll help them. If you see that you're bringing them more realtors, if they see you're bringing them more realtors, trust me, they'll love you for it. So what do strategic partners want? What do they want? Exposure. All they want is exposure. Everything that I just talked to you guys about, we're giving them exposure. We're showing them how to get this exposure. Now remember this, you can only lead a horse to water, but you can't what? Right, I know somebody just said that as they're watching this video, you can't make them drink, but you give them as much exposure as possible. So if they were to come back and say, well, I really didn't get business, you can show them, well, this is what we did, but can we sit down and find out what you did? Because maybe there was something that went wrong, but guess what? If you follow up and you check in early enough, you can help them gain more exposure so they can help build their business. I love this. From Queen. I keep wanting to say Queen Eileen. Green Eileen, President Eileen. I'm sorry, I don't know why that keeps coming to my mind. I think because it just rhymes. So visibility plus credibility equals profitability. Okay? So we want to give them visibility. Because the more visible they are, the more credible they are in their business, it'll give them the profit that they need. So here's some suggestions, and we're wrapping it up. It's very important, again, you want to make sure that if they're supposed to speak at your events, they should be. Provide a webinar for social media, the ones at the highest level. Let them do a special webinar so that way they can get exposure. And if they know that they can reach your audience, and think about it, your audience goes beyond your membership. If you were to post a YouTube video or video, you can even do Zoom live on Facebook on your page. It'll go to the hundreds or thousands of people that's following your Women's Council page. So that's an option. Again, you can highlight them monthly. You can do a monthly strategic partner of the month. You can do email, social media. And when I say social media, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, I guess they have this new thing called TikTok. Didn't know about that. That's new. We'll see how long they last, but whatever. But what you can do is highlight them. Pick depending on strategic partners, pick one a month. Now, the year I was a strategic partner, I was president, we had like 29 or 30 strategic partners. We did raise the most money we had ever raised, which was about $19,900 we raised. We were $100 short of $20,000, but we raised $19,900. And we gave a lot of exposure on our social media for them. And we did this stuff that I'm telling you. Give them a strategic partner breakfast or luncheon. I don't recommend potlucks. What I do recommend is that you guys don't tell strategic partners this, okay? They're giving hundreds of dollars. You can't set $10, $15, $20 aside to give back, to take them maybe to a nice restaurant and honor your strategic partners. A nice lunch, maybe a nice catered lunch. But you all are, as you're building your events, make sure you do something to give back. Provide a list of your members and make sure it's a current list. Don't just give them a list of the members in April once the real numbers come in. You want to give them April, August, and maybe October. That way they have an updated list. Give them a link on your website and encourage your members to utilize our strategic partners. So these are just a few suggestions. You don't have to use them all, but they're here for you, okay? So I want to tell you this quick testimonial. I was at a business planning meeting and there was a strategic partner that was there in attendance. And she was saying, I love Women's Council. I was with another company that was with Women's Council. And although I left the company, I went to another company, I'm still involved. That's how much I believe in Women's Council. She said that she's so involved that she's even giving away leads to members in her network. That's huge. You know why? Because she believes in Women's Council. Someone has reached out to her to say, hey, we care. So you see these pieces of the puzzles that's coming together. The strategic partner said this too. I want to know the other strategic partners. Why? Because I'm a lender. I need escrow. I need title. So I need a pest control. Can you imagine? They do refinances. They have other realtors. Can you imagine if strategic partners were linking together as well because of Women's Council and has helped building their business? Come on, you all. I love thinking outside the box. And you know where I got that from? One of my strategic partners who was an escrow officer a couple of years ago, she told me, she said, you know what, I'm linking up with this person who is a title rep and we're working together. We're strategic partners, so they can help with working with each other. So I wanted to share that information with you. All right. As I wrap up for real this time, strategic partners, your strategic partner team, you need to build a strong partnership. Your president-elect should be a part of this. And the goal of the team is to retain and recruit strategic partners, just like you would do with membership, right? We want to retention, and recruitment, same thing. Maintain partnership follow-up, orientation, feedback is important. Check on them in May. Make sure they're good. You don't want to get all the way in August and September when it's too late. Check on them. April, hey, how are you feeling about it? Are you good? Get feedback from them because trust me, they have it. Build a relationship with them. Don't just be in their pocket, okay? Don't just say, I want you to be a part. I mentioned this earlier. I want you to be a part. I want your money and that's it. No, build relationships. People work with who they trust. Make sure that you have a point of contact for your strategic partners. Some people may work for a big company. Find out who the point of contact is and make sure you have someone on the strategic partner team that's going to work with that person. What I did was I had sent something to our strategic partner team. I said, look, split it up. For our membership, split it up. You have a team. This person will call this many people. This person will, and that person is responsible for that strategic partner for the rest of the year. That's their main contact. And that way it's not a heavy load on one person. Lastly, they work with the treasurer. Make sure you all are not collecting the money. You all don't touch the money. Give it over to the treasurer. I'm speaking from what I know, not what I heard. Make sure they're working with the treasurer. When they say, oh yeah, I'm ready to pay, here's my credit card information, say, no, make sure you do this. You do an introduction. So at the state level, what we do is we include the treasurer. We also include the bookkeeper. Say, hey, Sabrina and bookkeeper, here is such and such. Can you build such and such for this? This way, I'm not touching the money and I have no responsibility, and ensure that all items have been fulfilled according to their level. You should have a checklist that says this has been done, that's been done, and that's been done. All right. All right, so I did this live. That's why it says any questions. If you have any questions for me, I had to redo this, you guys, because I accidentally deleted my last one. So anyway, if you all have any questions, any concerns, any comments, please feel free to reach out. I did have a question that was emailed to me that I'll talk about on here. Someone was asking, what do I feel about, or how do we feel about in-kind services? You can do in-kind services. The year that I was president, the guy that did our flyer, it was an in-kind service. His flyers are $75 each. If you just take 75 times 10, that's $750, right? So we were able to save $750, and he was able to give us his time. And he also came in, it worked out. He ended up doing some of our photography as well. We did pay for that, but we were able to get our flyers. But you don't want to do a ton of in-kind services, because remember, our goal is to bring in money so we can send our leadership out and potentially even give scholarships, or maybe one person that's seeking leadership to attend a meeting. Our goal is to get everyone on the governing board to our state meetings, okay? Our state meetings at minimum, and then get at least our presidents and presidents-elect to both of the national meetings. All right, so thank you all for listening. Like our president says, that we can now go forth and slay, and now it's time for us to grow together. Here's my information. If you guys have any questions, if you would like for me to come and talk to your networks about strategic partner and get a little more in depth, please feel free to reach out to me. Here's my telephone number. Here is my email address that I do answer. I have several email addresses, but this is a good one if you ever want me to come out and train or speak or what have you. I thank you all so much for being a part of this training. I hope you all were able to get something out of it. Thank you to our leadership, our state leadership, for allowing me to do this training, to our president, Eileen, President-elect Rosanna, to our first vice president, is that what they call it? And forgive me, I know it's not secretary anymore. Kay Merg, and to our treasurer, Sabrina Brown. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this, and I hope you all have a good one.